MotoGP has completed 39 races in 2024, but it all comes down to race 40. Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for the Solidarity Grand Prix. And it's Jorge Martin versus Pecco Bagnaia for the World Championship. Hello everybody, welcome to Grand Final Day. This is the big one. Who is going to be World Champion? Jorge Martin comes in with a 17-point gap in the championship. All he needs today is to finish ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. But Bagnaia, even if he finishes in the top two, can clinch the championship. He has got to finish ahead of Martin. It's literally all-out war. Can't wait for this one. Very special guest joining us in the commentary box as well. Was supposed to be with us this morning for Macau. Unfortunately, that motorcycle race was cancelled. But Lizzie Whitmore's joining us as well now in the booth, alongside Megan Birch when she gets here eventually, as TNT now perfectly go to an ad break to give us time to talk. Lizzie, welcome to you up here in the comms box. Pleasure to have you as well. Here we go. One more round for MotoGP, and it's Bagnaia versus Martin, but it's the last dance for a couple of riders out there. First of all, how are you doing? Oh, I have a bit of a problem with her. As she comes through. We'll wait a second because there's a few tech issues to come through and work out. As Bagnaia, let's go through the championship standings as it comes in. Because we've got a very interesting battle. We'll take a look at it now on your monitors in front of us. Jorge Martin on 492 points. Pecco Bagnaia is on 473. As I said, a 19-point gap in the championship. And Lizzie's back with us. Hello, Lizzie. How are you doing?
I am. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, all good. Yeah, really excited to see how this is going to turn out. I'm not picking any sides because unfortunately my favourite rider is leaving. So I hope he has a very happy retirement. It's been a pleasure to watch him. But Aleix Espargaro is retiring as of this last meeting. Obviously, we also lose Taka Nakagami as well. So two of my favourite riders actually leaving the championship, but that's all right. We've got other things to focus on. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race for sure. To see, love to see what's going to unfold here. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure which way this is going to swing. It could go either way, which is always exciting, isn't it?
Always is as well. And MotoGP this year has been throwing up so many different surprises as well. We've had accidents, we've had race leading changes, fantastic battles as well. It's not been the worst season, just considering it's a Ducati domination. But I just want to pick your brains about next year quickly, because we break up the Ducati Super 8. They go over to all different manufacturers. How much is it going to be that we actually do have a better 2025? And Bagnaia, all of a sudden, must be a little bit worried that his sort of hierarchy is being challenged and might be lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... I think Marquez moving to the factory team is going to be... we're going to have a very interesting season next year. I mean, he's on that Gresini bike. It's been very interesting to see how it's competed against the factory teams. So I'm very excited to see what's going to go on there. But Martin's moved to Aprilia. That's something that is Aprilia he's moving to. I'm not I didn't dream that, did I?
No, everyone's been saying the same.
It's yeah. So that's going to be. I couldn't tell you for sure how I think that one will go. But it's going to be very exciting to see that all the changes made. And perhaps nice to see that it won't just be Ducati. Making up the numbers at the top 10.
Finally. I'm bored of Ducati this year, to be fair. We're about to throw back down to TNT on the grid. So just quickly, Lizzie, as well. Barcelona, it's a difficult circuit to race at. It's great for Formula One, but for motorcycles, its elevation changes are quite sharp. They're surprising in certain parts. And having walked the circuit myself, it does catch you out. How many braking zones are quite late? So how are the riders going to deal with it? In November, we're racing here. Conditions definitely way, way colder than when we were here in May.
Yeah, so the camber is the thing that you've got to look out for. If you catch it wrong on the camber, you're going down. With the braking force that these guys go through, the amount they perhaps trail brake into some corners, that it could be difficult to manage. But I'm sure these guys have got it. They're all professionals here, so I'm sure they'll get it all in hand.
Martin doing a little bit of a prayer now, getting his drinks in as well, getting all set. He's holding a Red Bull bottle, of course, he's Red Bull rider. Interesting, just to quickly note that we've had from Marc Marquez. He is going to have Monster on his overalls next year, with Monster being, of course, a primary sponsor of Ducati. However, he will not be mandated to do any Monster events in the paddock. He will not have a Monster water bottle, and there'll be no branding of Red Bull outside the circuit either. So they've sort of come to a mutual understanding. We see the same in World Superbikes as well. Now, coming into this one, Lizzie, just want to get a quick thought on you as well. How are you doing? I know we've spoken off air how you're doing, but how are you doing? Because the last time we saw you racing in Championship, you had a very, very, very horrible accident at Caroma. So how are you doing and how's the recovery going?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, we're just slowly chipping away with the thumb here. But yeah, mostly all good. I'm ready to start again next year and get ready.
Can't wait as well, and hopefully we bump into each other at some racing as well. Just want to point out, ever since Donington, we've had Maddie's, that's me going for it. She's going to kill me now for Maddie Patterson. Hello, Maddie, if you're watching in Macau. We've had Mallory's sticker on the headset, but your sticker's been on the back of the commentary box in every broadcast, so it's on the back of the banner.
Aww.
It's been put up.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So they've all been put up, because originally we wanted them all on the headsets, but your sticker's too big. So
I do apologise. I'm so sorry. It's not my intention. Obviously, it is. But
we've had to put it
lovely.
on the banner.
That's really nice.
Right, we are about 15 minutes to go. It's time for the tribute to Valencia. We'll head down to the grid. 15 minutes to go. Let's join Susie Perry and TNT Sports.
Great track, you know, keeping that relaxed atmosphere within the box all year long, and it's a great team to be part of. But right now, Jorge Martin, well, not right now, but in about 10 minutes, he's going to be alone on his bike. He's going to feel alone, and he's going to feel like everything depends on him. So for Jorge Martin, this is the chance of a lifetime. He's been breathing, living, you know, MotoGP, and wanted to. This is what happens as a rider, you know, when you're a contender in the championship. You wake up in the morning thinking about a title, you go to bed at night thinking about a title, so it's maximum pressure for him.
Yeah, the pressure is well and truly on. We're going to pause now, though, and take a reflection for the community of Valencia. Of course, we should have been racing in Valencia for the final round, as we usually do, but with those horrendous floods from a couple of weeks ago, we find ourselves in Barcelona, and actually quite lucky to be racing this weekend, Sylvain, it seems.
What a huge effort, you know, from Dorna, from FIM, from everybody involved in this championship to, on such a short notice, change the venue, manage to, you know, to somehow sort it out and put it all together. We've got a full house today at the track. They could get about 50,000 people inside the track, and I think the tickets sold off in about 3 days.
Yeah,
you know, it was all gone. So yeah, absolutely brilliant from the championship, and the weather is good as well all weekend. So yeah, great times.
We've got some lots of fans and big fans here this weekend, including Ross Brawn, who you'll know from Formula One, I'm sure, a TD, team boss, team owner, latterly with Liberty, of course, supposed to be taking over Dorna later on this year. Let's find out his thoughts. He's chatting with Nat.
Ross, the 40th race of the season, and it all comes down to this. You can feel the tension, can't you, on the grid, which I'm sure you're used to. What do you think is going to happen today, and have you been entertained by this MotoGP season?
Well, I'm a big fan, and I'm lucky to have Paolo Campinotti as a friend, so obviously I'm supporting him, and he's asked for advice. I've just said do everything the same as you've always done, because that's what's got you here. But the tension's still, you know, the butterflies are there. I feel like I was almost competing myself, so but the racing's been great. They're gladiators, aren't they? They really are gladiators. So myself, my wife, we all enjoy it, so it's just great to come here as a fan.
Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Ross Brawn then, Team Jorge Martin, Team Pramac, and really, you know, it does seem as though it's most people's fairy tale that Jorge can just stay in there today, stay on that bike and pick up this world title. It would mean so much, not just for him, but also for Pramac as well.
Yeah, it's just such a nice story there, and I feel the feeling in general is like they deserve it, and they do. They've been working hard, they've been putting everything together. They've been supporting their riders and Jorge Martin lately. They made it happen by hard work, grit and determination. So there's no doubt they deserve it. Not saying that Pecco doesn't deserve it. And it'll be a first time for them as well. A private team, you know, the outsider, the underdog. And I think there's not many people that doesn't want it to happen.
It's been all about fine margins, really, hasn't it? And we've talked about that clean run down into turn 1 and turn 2, getting through those, the tyre scenario here. But what other riders can come into play here? Who can play their part in this championship as things stand?
Well, it's quite a few, actually, because the race rhythms are pretty close. So we've seen yesterday Bastianini could be trouble, even though he's 8 on the grid. He was first at turn 1, so he takes great starts, and he was very aggressive yesterday, and I think he's going to do that again. He's got a fight on his hand as well for 3rd place in the championship against Marc Marquez, so he's going to want to get that 3rd place. You got guys like Alex Marquez was super strong yesterday as well, so he's got good pace. Frankie Morbidelli could play a role as well. Aleix Espargaro, 2nd on the grid, winner of 3 of the 5 last races on this track. So yeah, lots of people could get involved, especially in the first laps. The first laps could be a problem here. We've seen it historically. Turn 1, turn 10 can bring some trouble.
Look, it's not easy to choreograph a race, but is it fair to say that Pecco has got more support on the grid than Jorge has in terms of riders that can help out?
Yeah, probably. Pecco's got loads of mates from the VR46 Academy, yeah, they seem to be around. Aleix's got Espargaro, his good mate that helped him from his very start in MotoGP, helped him train, lent him his training bikes as well, because Jorge Martin had no money to go training when he was starting in Moto3. So yeah, Aleix Espargaro has been a great support and a great friend to him. I don't think it's going to come down to that, though. I think it's going to come down to Jorge Martin doing a solid race.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants, isn't it? Jorge, by the way, just to remind you, has got to come from the 2nd row of the grid in 4th place. We've just seen that he's taken so long to come to the grid. I think he's the last rider to make it into his grid place. And we're going to take another pause now, because we've got a couple of anthems for you. So the scene is set then here in Barcelona. A lot of riders saying goodbyes to their teams, including Jack Miller, who's going from the 7th row of the grid in 19th, which is sort of irrelevant, really, but he's chatting with Nat now.
Jack, it's been a long season. The fans have enjoyed it. We have enjoyed it. Are you ready for the final laps of 2024?
Yeah, ready to get underway. Obviously not here in Valencia, but here in Barcelona. No, an end to what's been an amazing season. I think the fans will agree at home. And yes, see where this title fight ends. A bit different story for us, but we'll try to finish on a positive note. Decent start would be nice today. Kind of blundered a little bit. Had a little bit too many flashbacks coming out from last week, but we'll be right. We'll get through them and yeah, try to have a decent finish at the last one.
Thanks, Jack.
Cheers, eh?
Yeah, Jack and Brad had a nightmare in qualifying, 18th and 19th, but Brad thinks that he's got a bit more today, and we've seen him come through from 18th before.
Yeah, he normally gets really good race pace, and like you said, Susie, he's a very good starter, very aggressive, very quick normally to activate his tyres, so he could create a surprise. If anybody can do it, it's Brad.
Yeah, is there anybody else that we haven't mentioned that you think could have an opportunity today, like some Pedro Acosta perhaps?
Yeah, Pedro Acosta, I was going to say, yesterday he got clipped, unfortunately, by Marc Marquez. Racing incidents, but his front fairing got ripped off, so he had to retire. But he was looking quite strong, so I feel like the KTM gas package have been struggling a little bit around here so far, but it might have been done down to the temperature, and today it's a little bit warmer, the sun is fully out, and there is no wind. Yesterday there was that cold breeze, today there's no breeze at all, so the temperature on the track is going to feel a bit better.
Alex Marquez and Marc Marquez. Alex was better than Marc yesterday. We've just watched Marc actually get off his bike and go and do a little photograph with a lad that was in a wheelchair, and he kind of interrupted his race build-up for that, which was a lovely moment. Either of those boys up there today?
Yeah, especially Alex. Alex this weekend, and it's rare, but Alex has been faster than Marc, and Alex looking really good on race pace, was in the sprint yesterday. Marc managed to do a really good qualifying lap. Getting a tow and getting it all together, but the race pace actually is with Alex.
So, Sylvain, we're getting closer and closer to the moment of truth. Your race winner for today?
Our race winner is going to be Pecco, and my championship winner will be Jorge Martin.
OK, well, you mentioned the tyres there and how important they are, of course, and the conditions here. Let's get the very latest on those. Michael Laverty's got all the news.
Well, Susie, actually, tyres have been a huge part of the story this weekend. The fact that we changed venue from Valencia to Barcelona has meant Michelin have had to go to work and produce 60% of the allocation in 8 days and ship them here. It's been a massive achievement for them. They've got 4 options on the front, and it looks like everyone's going for the hard asymmetric front. Apart from Johan Zarco, he's going to choose something a little different. The rear tyre is where it's all to play for. 3 options this weekend, an additional option, and all 3 options are raceable. Seems like Honda and Yamaha are enjoying the hard tyre. Pretty much the KTMs and Aprilias like the medium, and then all the Ducatis, apart from the Pramac riders, and it is the pre-race grid sheet, but both Pramac, Morbidelli and Martin possibly going for that medium tyre. Looks like the soft activates quick, medium pretty consistent, the hard comes together at the end of the race. So interesting to see if Martin does take the gamble, and if that pays off and makes his race a little easier towards the end.
Thank you very much, Michael. And the final moments on this very, very busy grid then. There is your championship leader, Jorge Martin, 19 points. He's only got to finish 9th. Sounds easy, doesn't it? As we've learnt, though, about the day, it is nothing but easy. But how much would it be for him to win the World Championship here? Yes, it's 2 Ducatis fighting against each other, but one's a satellite and one is a factory Ducati. There you go, there's the man in pole position. That's Jorge's view. That is Pecco Bagnaia, who's looking for his 3rd on the bounce. Both of them need to get down to that turn 1 very cleanly and turn 2. We want both of them to be able to finish this. But what a championship it has been. We've talked about the wins. There's been 39 podiums. Jorge Martin has gone for the story of consistency. He's only finished off the podium 8 times this season. And look at the history for Jorge Martin. Smashed last year at the end of the championship, and he could have given up, but he got back on his bike, and he's been so gritty and determined this year to take this world title. 2 rebuffs from the factory Ducati, to the point where he said, if you don't give me the factory bike, I'm leaving, I'm going to Aprilia. He is going to Aprilia. Prowak are going to Yamaha. There's good boys all over the place. Will the fairy tale come true? So after 39 races, it has all come down to this. Who's your money on?
Two former teammates in Moto3, one already a 2-time world champion in the Premier class. Is today the day for the underdog? Can satellite riders really win a world championship? Jorge Martin sets off today for 24 laps with an aim to prove it, but he will do so from the second row. His direct opponent ahead of him, pole sitter Pecco Bagnaia. This is going to be an absolute nail-biter. One place we always want to have a season finale is Valencia. Unpredictable weather means we can't run it, so we race in solidarity here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Away alongside me, Joshua Birch in the commentary box. We have Megan Birch once more. Hello, Megan. How are you doing today?
Stressed.
Who's going to win the race?
Aleix.
Oh, okay, fair bet.
I'm hoping.
Who's going to win the championship?
Martin.
Even better bet.
I can get behind that.
Lizzie Whitmore's with us as well in the commentary box. Lizzie, delighted to have you here. Who's going to win the race and who's going to win the championship? And I predict you're going to say Aleix.
Yeah, Aleix, I'd love to see Aleix win the race, but I just can't pick who will win the championship. I just can't.
All's fair there. Davide Tardozzi giving hugs and cheers. It's all nerve-wracking at the moment, isn't it? Let's just quickly go through the tyres while they're on our screen. Everyone is on the hard front tyre, bar Johan Zarco. He has medium front. And then the rear tyres, that's where it starts to get a bit tricky. Those on the soft rear tyres, Pecco Bagnaia, Marc Marquez, Enea Bastianini, Marco Bezzecchi. Then also Alex Marquez. You might register, they're all Ducatis. Those on the medium rear tyres, Aleix Espargaro, Jorge Martin, interesting enough, Pedro Acosta going in as well. Coming in, Brad Binder. Then the last three of Augusto Fernandez, Mikel Pirro and Stefan Bradl. And then hard rears for everybody else on the circuit. Lizzie, just put it in the mind of a rider as you're coming to the grid. What's going through your mind as you come out that last corner? What are you doing on the parade lap?
Well, me personally, you're making sure that you've got yourself positioned right on the grid spot. So if you want to get to the inside, you sort of position your bike to that side. Get yourself positioned right, deep breath, make sure that you've got your head all in it. But I can't imagine the feelings that the top two are going through at the moment. It's got to be something quite unreal.
I think Aleix just locked up.
Yeah, I've just seen Aleix just go a bit too fast going into his good position. So hopefully that's not bad fortune for him. So I picked who I think will be first to crash, and that's Oliveira and Mir.
One last dance then, the rematch. MotoGP is 5 lights away. And pull the throttle back as we go racing in Barcelona. It's a good start for Bagnaia. Martin's gone with him. And once again, like in the sprint race, Marc Marquez filters into third place. Martin looks to the inside, into the braking zone for turn number 1 as well. Downhill, Bagnaia just keeps ahead. It looks like Acosta's going to be in a bit of a battle. And is that Aleix going wide? I think it is. Aleix down to 6th on the start. Not the best getaway. Sorry, Lizzie. He's going to filter in alongside his teammate, maybe with Fabio Quartararo as well. Marquez on the back, though, as they come on towards turn 3. Nobody down, but Martin up to 2nd place, and Viñales drops back into 15th. Aleix down to 6th.
He's gone way too wide there, Viñales. He hasn't dropped it. For a second, I thought he had, but he still is there. And
he's back on the inside of Pedro Acosta, downhill at turn 5, so good stuff there from Aleix. And Lizzie, he goes well at this circuit. He's won 3 of the last 5 races here.
Yeah, that's really interesting to see, actually. It's very unfortunate he got the wide line there, but I did see also Maverick Viñales having to resort to using the long lap penalty to get through that corner. So that's not good start for him, but let's hope he can pull that back for the rest of the race.
He's still in the points in 15th. Alex Marquez and Fabio Quartararo dropping back. Miller versus Viñales now. Nakagami's dropped down to 22nd place after being in 20th place.
Viñales is definitely the person who's had the toughest time, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Given he's now down into 16th place.
Been kicked up everywhere. But look at Marc Marquez.
He went wide.
Into turn 13, then 14 coming into New Holland. He's all over the back of Jorge Martin. Surely we're not going to...
Fernandez just dropped a bit.
As well dropped. Now that's a big one.
He's just gone really wide, I think.
Yeah, so is he just sort of lost out traction, gone wide? We'll keep an eye on it. Down the straight then. As we get in the slipstream, Mark's going to pull alongside Martin down towards turn 1. This is nervous times. Martin cannot afford to go down, but he also can't afford to fight with Mark. Mark up into 2nd position with the inside line at 1. Lizzie, how powerful is a toe when you're on a motorcycle these days as well?
Yeah, if you've got a pretty decent toe in front of you, then you can make up leaps and bounds. Let's just hope that we can see Martin stay on the back of Marc Marquez and hopefully regain that position.
Do you tend to sink downwards if you're in that position? Like, you're not like demotivated, but is there like we see in the toe effect in IndyCar, where if a rider goes in front of you, you start to lose some speed and then you lose time and then others behind you get quicker? So is it a negative effect being passed?
I've never found that it is myself, but it certainly, I mean, I never say never that it could certainly have that effect on a rider. But myself, I haven't really found it that way. It sort of fuels the fire a little bit to help you regain that position again. So let's just see how Martin's going to react to that.
Wonder if Bastianini's going to have a go. He's getting a bit tight at turn 10 on the Calex. He thought he was touching the rear tyre. 9 times out of 10, if you do that, you're down on the deck because the front tyre spins with traction of the front car's, well, the front bike's front tyre, and it just goes woof, straight over. As it comes into it through turn 13 and then into New Holland at 14. Skies have actually gone pretty blue. It was cloudy in the Moto3 race this morning.
Fastest out there right now is Mark, and Nakagami passes Bradl and Mir passes Quartararo for 11th. Mark is currently doing a 140.173. He's 2 tenths faster than Bagnaia right now. So Mark might take this. Viñales has just dropped down a lot. He is not crashed out though. He has just really gone wide. I don't know what's... Maybe he had to go with his tyres.
Yeah, has he had to go straight on again? He's dropped from 15th all the way down into 20th.
Yeah.
But hasn't been passed by Nakagami or Bradl. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Well, they're way too behind.
Yeah.
They're like... Okay, now they're closer to him.
Yeah, so Delta time, he's still showing the right thing. Look at Aleix Espargaro. Again, on the inside. This time with Renea Bastianini. Tight on the inside line.
Ooh, he's forced him... He's forced him to give in.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
That was very interesting, yeah. In that sort of area of the track where the camber, sometimes it seems like it falls away from him. So that was a very interesting type move from Aleix Espargaro there.
It's brave.
I love it when he does that. It just gives a bit of spice to this already chanting race.
I think Aleix right now is thinking, okay.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's been passed again. Bagnaia on the inside. Aleix comes right back underneath him.
I think Aleix's thought process is, I'm not racing anyway next year. It's like, so I can get injured all I want.
Lizzie, he doesn't care, does he? Why is he retiring? He's still got the speed.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think he's definitely thinking about the not got a lot to lose situation there, but it's lovely to see that he's still getting stuck in there. I mean, he's definitely got the ability to stay up there. So, yeah, it's very, very interesting to see that.
Down the straight we go. Martin just keeping himself in distance. Alex Marquez thinks about a move on Franco Morbidelli. Morbidelli's very deep into turn 1. Can't pick it up in time for 2. Alex says time for 3 and goes through as a nice little snack. Great move there, but did he get it done? I don't think he did. No, Morbidelli got traction on the outside. The camel cut there was a bit too late for my liking. Acosta's through.
Morbidelli's dropping.
And that's why he's been run wide by Alex. So Morbidelli's been going to lose 2 places. So, yeah, not nice there, Lizzie, but was that Alex sort of going a bit defensive, or did Franco know he was there?
Oh, that was really hard to tell there, but there's Morbidelli going back under... Oh, gosh, there's so much happening. I can't keep up, but, yeah, it looked like a bit of a defensive move there from Alex Marquez. Yeah, it's all happening. It's all happening.
It's hard to keep a cross on, and Marc Marquez is going to challenge Bagnaia now. The gap is 0.3 of a second, and they are literally stuck together like glue. Bastianini's thinking about a move on the inside at turn 10 on Aleix. Dives through, gets it done. Aleix can't get the cut back this time as much as he might like it. He'll live to fight another day with the toe down to turn 1. Over 800 metres from the last corner down to turn 1. It's the longest straight on the calendar as well, coming into it as well. It's 1,000... and 47 metres towards the first corner, 800 metres from pole position to turn 1.
I hate to say it, but I'm not quite sure that Vinales is going to make it to the end of this race.
If he's got a bike problem, Brilliant might not have the best end to a brilliant weekend.
Do you know what I've noticed he's doing? Quali laps. He's going slow on one lap and then fast on the other.
Aleix on the inside line. Pecco is still ahead of Marquez at the moment, but I thought they swapped positions. The gap's close between them. Bastianini couldn't attack back to Aleix's advantage. That's left him vulnerable now to Pedro Acosta. But look at Bagnaia. I said it because the first sector time, he made a small error down through turn 2. So Marquez is all over the back of him. Title chance for Martin, 508 points to Bagnaia's 498, 10 between them at the moment. So Martin can drop at least, well, he needs to still not be inside the top 10.
And there's a battle going on for 18th. Yeah. Marini and Zarco are battling it out. But, yeah, they are literally just keep swapping and swapping. I'm worried they're going to take each other out.
Lizzie, is Mark the type of rider to either... Well, he's got to race Pecco next year as his teammate. So is this an early psychological battle that I'm here to torment you ahead of next season by not helping him win the title now? Or is this just Mark being Mark?
We could certainly see it like that, yeah. I mean, I think the pair of them have definitely got a very high calibre of riding. And I think that it would be interesting to speculate whether that's sort of what's happening there, whether Marc Marquez is trying to assert his dominance above Francesco Bagnaia. Well, I'm not sure. Well, I couldn't say that myself, but it certainly seems that that's something that might be happening.
He's got the toe. He's going to show him a little bit of a hello. Not this time into 1. They went
no, I'm too far back there.
Yeah, late lunch.
I tell you what, I don't think Bagnaia needs to worry about Marc Marquez.
Why? Have you spotted his quicker?
Aleix Espargaro is quicker than all 3 of them.
A 1:40.194.
Yeah, I mean, Martin is quick as well, but a 10th quicker. That is how much quicker Aleix is.
Down this track as well. That could be it across the line. I mean,
and we've still got 19 laps.
Yeah.
He's going to catch up eventually.
Lizzie, how's your Aprilia shirt holding up? Still good?
It's sweating a bit. It's sweating a little bit. Yeah. No, I mean, it's fantastic to see. Yeah, he's definitely got the pace to catch. And as I said, we've got 19 laps to go, so there's entirely a possibility that he definitely is going to catch up to the group if he's that much faster than them. But let's just see how long it's gonna take him to claw it back. I mean, I'm sure it won't take long. He's only just there, so.
Going higher speed too.
There's another factor to add into this as well. Aleix Espargaro and Jorge Martin are really good friends. Yeah. In the announcement video, Martin, when he was announced, he was introduced by Aleix. Is Aleix going to be happy with 4th, or is he only going to advance if Martin advances further up?
I think they might be working together secretly.
I don't know. Lizzie, what do you think? Do you reckon that he's going to hold back to Martin, or is he just going to go hell for leather? He still had the championship, Martin, of course. He's inside the top 10.
I'm not sure. I mean, racing, when you're a racer, you sort of just don't.
Yeah.
Not everyone's your friend when you're on the circuit, so I'm not too sure what the mentality is there. But as I said earlier, I think that Aleix definitely has the mindset of it. There's nothing left to lose. So I think he's just going to go all hell to the wall sort of thing. So we'll see. We'll see.
Alex Marquez on the inside line gets ahead of Pedro Acosta at turn number 1, so makes it up into 6th position as things stand. Terrible day though if your name is KTM. Binder's in 9th, Miller in 14th. That's a result of poor qualifying for the two of them, but brilliant day for Acosta. He moves over from Gas Tech 3, which he does have the factory 24 KTM bike. Next year he'll have the main bike, but also the main mechanic, so it even works better for him. Don't count him out next year as well. So Marquez is pushing hard Bagnaia. They've pulled out a full second now to Martin, but the gap's still 10 points in the championship. 508 for Martin, 498 for Bagnaia. Interesting enough, Marc Marquez will take 3rd in the battle between himself and Enea Bastianini, 392 to 388 in that little kerfuffle. Trying to find good words for this final MotoGP. Oh, I thought that was a bird. It's a drone.
I thought it was a piece of debris.
I thought it was something flying. Mia's out. Mia's crashed out of the race, and there he is, top of the screen, down a turn.
Josh?
You said it was Mia first. You also pointed to Alicia Spargo, so that's not good for
No, I didn't. It was Nakagami.
Fine, that's even worse.
So I pointed to Oliveira.
Yeah.
Too.
It looked like the front buckled there, Lizzie, as well. If we get a replay, I'll hand it over to you. But yeah, he's out of the race. Bad season for Honda, really, as Alex goes again, this time on Bastianini.
Yeah.
Little bit, no one's there. So yeah, what do you make of that one, Lizzie? We just saw, oh, hang on, I'm going to interrupt you because that's Bastianini now taking the escape road, and through goes Acosta and Alex up into 5th place.
Well, I think
that didn't look. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked almost like he just ran it a little bit too hot into there, which I've seen previously, where you can very easily run a bit too hot into the first corner. I believe it's also a little bit cambered there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh.
No, you're right.
You've walked the circuit yourself. So it could have just been the misjudging of the camber, a little bit too hot into there. But yeah, he has had to use the escape road, which has put him back at a few places there.
Brilliant battle between Bastianini and Morbidelli. Basically the two non-championship riders in the championship leading teams, battling over 7th and 8th. Yeah, you're right, Lizzie. It's got to camber through that part of the circuit as well. It's imagine you're in a bath. This is weird, but imagine you're in a bath and you've got water around you, and then you slosh from side to side. Now imagine the water going up one side and then up the other. That's how the camber is at turn 1 and 2.
Like a boat.
Yeah, at turn 1, it sort of goes up towards the curb, and then it swashes down to 2, and then it sort of flattens out through 3, and then slowly rises up. It's a really weird sort of camber on the circuit through 1, 2, and 3.
How do they get seasickness?
I don't know, but it gives traction to the Formula 1 cars. That's often why we see F1 putting wheels on the exit of turn 2. But it's designed to keep them on the circuit. But yeah. It's also very, 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 very slippery down there. I know, down the hill at turn 1, it's very slippery because they just literally got nothing. Because at the inside goes Enea Bastianini again, Lizzie. That was a nice dive bomb.
Yeah, that was lovely and clean. He left quite a bit of space for him there. I don't know whether we're going to get a switch back on the outside. No, he's a bit too far away. But it looks like Mr. Binder coming on the back there. That's got a little bit of a. Oh, he's going to go around the outside. No, he's not.
Risky.
But yeah, that was a very clean. Left a lot of room there for him. Let's just see what Brad Binder's going to do. Is he going to go at the No, he was wise there to not make that decision. Obviously, that's quite a tight corner. A lot of camber there as well.
Downhill at 5. It sort of sloops in. It's sort of uphill downhill part of the circuit. The biggest low point on this circuit is actually at turn 7. So through that chicane. Just afterwards, that's where it really goes down, though.
This is intriguing. Sector 2.
Yep.
Okay, so Bagnaia and Martin are both losing time whenever they go into Sector 2, but Marquez and Espargaro and Alex Marquez are all gaining time, whereas Acosta also is losing time.
Who's on the mediums, who's on the softs? So Mark's on soft rear, same as Bagnaia, but everyone else who you just described is on the medium rear, isn't it?
I think,
so
yeah.
It can't, well, unless Marquez is just getting the help from the toe there, I can't see why he's gaining more time when he's on a different tyre compound.
But it doesn't explain why Alex is so quick in Sector 2.
Alex has been on the form all weekend long. We saw in the sprint race yesterday just how quick he was in the braking zone. One ball with Marc Marquez now.
He's on softs too.
Yeah, soft rear tyres, same as Mark. In fact, they've both gone identical. Their last race together, of course, as teammates.
Yeah.
We've been told that one mirror is okay, but we have yet to see a replay of that crash. I think the front end just buckled under braking. So we'll keep a look at it once more. Give you a quick rundown. Oh, hang on. Bashing his shortcut turn 2, no further action. Sufficient time lost. Can I also just say, I don't know if Lizzie would join me on this one, because Ryder, she hasn't ridden yet in Moto. Oh, hang on. Back 9 went very, very wide there. I thought Mark was going to have a little bit of a lunge at 5. Did not. This is the last race where Freddie Spencer will be race steward. I think everybody can cheer for that.
Yeah, there's two ways of looking at that. Obviously, I'm not sure that I would be appropriate to comment on the Freddie situation, but obviously, it's going to be I think it's going to be a massive change next year to how things are run, which is going to be interesting to see.
Simon Crowfar being put up into the headmaster's chair. And I already know one thing he's going to do. He's not going to allow the weaving to continue in qualifying at Moto 3. So that's going to be a big thumbs up already. You didn't get that a lot of weaving, actually. Did you, Lizzie, in WCR? Did you? They were all quite nice to each other.
Yeah, the weaving thing, I personally never understood it myself. I can understand almost why it could happen, but it's dangerous. It's there's no need for it at all. It's just dangerous.
Yeah, Adam Emery says that, of course, Freddie Spencer used to be known as Fast Freddie Spencer back in the old days, Fast Freddie. Now it's more like Harsh, if you speak to some of the riders in the paddock. I know that, but Freddie Spencer leaving and Simon Crowfar going up. Bigger rebrand, of course. MotoGP's new logo coming out later on tonight. It's part of a huge rebrand for the sport going into 2025. Liberty have had no involvement in it. Liberty have yet to complete the purchase of both MotoGP and World Superbikes and the incumbent series as well of Supersport, WCR as well going into it. And of course, Moto2.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Josh, just don't forget that Liberty Media are taking over MotoGP and World Superbikes. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of changes all round for MotoGP, which I think are almost greatly needed in some places.
First of all, continuity-wise, half our races this year we had to shove over to the second channel because of issues. And here we see Alex Marquez battling in with Alicia Spargo, and Alicia on the inside. Alex gets the cut back, coming into turn 13, and the old dog shows the new boy how it's done, shuts the door on him at the exit. You stay behind me, Sonny. But now Alex is going to have the slipstream on a much more powerful Ducati, but the Aprilia does have great straight line speed here. The all-time lap record is set by Alicia Spargo, 138.190 around here.
They have been next to each other all weekend.
They have not left each other's side. It's almost like they're going to miss each other, the two Spanish riders.
I think they might.
Yeah. What's the speed trap I'm looking for? Morbidelli on... Actually, it's Morbidelli who's on last year's Ducati. He's got the top speed here. 356 kilometres an hour. Halfway.
I don't know why I get the sense of something.
It's got that feeling of...
Midfield.
I'm surprised at myself. It feels like we're racing at Valencia. It's really strange. I don't know if it's the sun or the time of year, but it feels like we're getting the same type of race we have at that circuit. Lizzie, have you ever run at Valencia?
No, I haven't actually. I mean, my godfather, who I raced for last year, I believe he's been to Valencia. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. My dad will be listening in the other room going, no, he hasn't, or yes, he has. But yeah, my godfather Gary Baxter, who rode the 250 Grand Prix bikes in British Superbikes, I believe he's been to Valencia once. But no, I've not had the pleasure of riding either circuit in either Catalonia or Valencia. But who's to say we won't go winter testing there this December or next year? Well, we'll have to see.
Oh, I love that as well. It's a fantastic place as well. Hi, T-Pens, by the way. Nice to hear from them again. And also, how's your your nan and your granddad as well? I spoke to them a lot during the weekend as well.
Yeah, no, my grandparents, yeah, they're back in Devon now. They came up for my 20th birthday last week. Yeah, they're all good. Yeah, all good. And my other grandparents are probably sat at home watching on their TV as well. So yeah, they'll be cheering on. I'm not sure which side they fall on in the championship. So yeah, they'll be at home cheering the boys on as well.
Yeah, it's not quite like an election where it divides up families, is it? But whoever you support here, do you support one Ducati or do you support a satellite Ducati? That's the question. Still, the man on a 2-year-old bike effectively now, because let's not forget, this GP24 has been updated all throughout the year. It's now closer to what it'll be in 2025, and Mark's still on the bog standard bike from 23. I don't know how he's been this competitive. I really think he's going to be champion again next year. I'd put £5 on it right now.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'd love to put money on it myself, but it would obviously be lovely to see to Marc Marquez in the top spot again. But we'll just have to see. I mean, he's going to be on another competitive bike. I mean, if he's doing the things that he's doing on this bike, and it's, what is it? Did you say 2 years old?
Yes.
Who knows what we're going to see from an updated bike?
You can catch all the MotoGP testing. We'll be showing it all on Tuesday as well, with full timings as well and commentary from the post-season test, where Marc Marquez will get his first chance on a GP24 with some modifications for the 25. There's Marquez's pit board being told he's 1.4 seconds ahead to Martin. That gap has now risen to 1.5 exactly as they come across the line.
I just did the random thing to see who would probably go down next, and also Vinales has just gone up into 16th. He's gaining time again, and I've picked Raul Fernandez. Why?
Raul's been having a great weekend.
I don't want to ruin Raul's weekend.
You're just cursing everybody at the moment. I'm just looking
it's only worked on one.
Look at Anea, 16.3, first sector, so he's still improving out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot to catch up on right now.
It felt more exciting in Valencia last year when we had it for the title. I don't know why. This year it doesn't feel...
That's because for you, when you see this, you think, oh, it's May, June time.
Yeah. It was closer last year, though, in the championship. It wasn't at 17, 19 coming into this one? I think it was only like 2 or 3. It was really close between them.
Yeah.
But as soon as Martin went down, the championship was going to go back.
Which I hope it does not repeat.
Well, Martin could go down and give the title to Bagnaia.
Take that back.
Well, he could do.
Take it back.
Hey, I'm going by the rules of the game here. We don't know what's going on in MotoGP.
Martin hasn't had a championship yet. He deserves one.
Before going to Aprilia and probably not winning for a couple more years.
Yeah!
No, fair it is. Although I disagree with that. Lizzie, do you think Aprilia could be championship contenders, or are they still a bit too far back?
No, absolutely. I fully believe that Aprilia could be championship contenders. Yeah, not biased whatsoever, because it's not, you know, I'm definitely not an Aprilia till I die, Kel. But yeah, no, I fully believe that. I think that with the right resource and given them a little bit more time, perhaps, I definitely think they could definitely have a championship under their belt in the next few years.
Don't forget, just like you were seeing in Formula 1, the MotoGP field will close up against each other as well as we go into an engine freeze before we change cylinders once again. I think it's 2027 that comes into effect, so a couple of years down the line.
Yeah, so all the new rules, this is one of my... I'm very excited for this, very, very excited. So obviously we're going to see the complete, utter shake-up of the technical rules and regulations of what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. And it's going to level them out a lot. There's going to be no silly electronics. It's all going to be very level, and I think that will be obviously it will be a completely new age for MotoGP.
And of course, I think it's 50-50 fuel ratio, if I'm not mistaken. That could be coming in. Can't remember the last time. Oh, hello, Martin's fastest third sector. Finally, we're starting to get something. Because I think if Martin wants to win this championship, hell for leather, win the race.
I mean, have you noticed he's been doing the shoulder thing too?
He's been rocking backwards and forwards, isn't he, as well? He was shaking, though, in practice. Remember that front end? It was...
Maybe they fixed that.
unless he likes it. I mean, I haven't seen him get his shoulder down, which he has been doing.
I
this
have
weekend.
once.
Oh, in this race?
Yes.
All right, fair dues. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it.
I saw him. I even pointed at it. But you were not looking. You were looking down at your notes.
40-inch television standing 2 feet in front of me.
You look down.
I'm looking at my notes, yeah. Paper notes as well. I'm old school. I don't like iPads that much. I'm old school when it comes to tech.
Why do you think when I'm in uni, I write instead of using technology?
Avi Vinales up to 15th place. He's got ahead of Raul Fernandez, so he's into the points after his disastrous start. Aleix Espargaro, though, rescued his start. He did drop down into 6th position after starting second, but slowly getting back up.
Slowly.
Yeah, well, this race, not as classic as what we saw in Valencia last year, or even thinking back 2017. That was a classic with Dovi and Mark.
I'm going to calculate how many laps to go, 15 minutes to go is.
Right, probably is around about 15 now. Lizzie, at this point in the race, would they be still tyre saving, or would you start now to begin pushing, begin sort of taking risks? But as a counter to that, does Martin need to do anything to risk it?
He doesn't. Obviously, looking at the live results on the right-hand side of the screen, he wouldn't theoretically need to do anything at all. He still would have the championship at the end of this race if he stayed where he was. So it's very hard to say whether you would even continue to tyre save. I mean, obviously you want to make it to the end of the race, and you want to make it without with a little risk as possible as you come towards the final laps. So I mean, hard to say. He could just stick where he is. Obviously he's got to be conscious of Aleix behind him there, but couldn't say. I couldn't say. My tyre saving strategies are definitely a lot different to these guys here.
What are they? Are you allowed to say, or are you keeping those secret?
I don't really know how to explain it myself. But
is it more instinct?
You get to a certain point in the race and then you start pushing. Yeah. So that's really sort of how it is. I mean, you're pushing anyway, but you really start pushing after a certain amount. I've
always wondered if it was instinct more than actual.
I think I'd go with it being instinct, to be honest. It's like, oh, how do the tyres feel at the moment? Yeah, I can push. No, I can't. I'm gonna descend to the sky, whatever. But yeah, no, it's more instinct. But when you've got 25 odd laps of more than a lot more than what we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a bit more crucial with their tyre saving than us. Obviously it's important for us as well, but they have to think about it a little bit more than we do.
I see. Out the inside, and Airbashi in turn 10 gets ahead of Pedro Acosta for 6th position. Acosta does the old switch back. No, you're not going to get through there. Not on the inside line at 11. I'm pushing the outside at 12.
I predict that starting 6 laps to go, it will heighten up. Because, Dad's 15 minutes to the end thing, I divided that by the amount of time it is in MotoGP to calculate it, and then how much it would be 15 minutes to go here, and then how much it would be 7.5 minutes to go.
Side by side across the line, Brad Binder going for a move on Pedro Acosta. Franco Morbidelli watching backwards, and through goes Binder.
Almost lost it there.
Yeah, Acosta's bad on the brake there, but they're both on the same bike, so you're not going to fight your teammate too hard, are you? Well, I see inverted commas, teammate. I wonder if...
Alliance.
Better, yeah. I'd go with Alliance more than that. Hi, Amy, good morning. Eric Jackson says Martin needs to stay upright. That's it. The rest of them, cats. I keep hearing the track service, unforgivable, no grip, Billy table smooth, no bike. Yeah.
Mark's lost 2 tenths.
I've never heard riders be described as cats before. It's quite an interesting description.
I've never been called a cat ever. So that's a new one on me.
Would that make drivers dogs?
I have no idea.
They do seem to have a lot of dogs.
Actually, it makes sense if you think about it. Cats have 9 lives.
Yeah.
And the amount of crashes we see in motorcycle racing.
True. It does make sense.
It does make sense, to be fair.
But what type of cat? I mean, there's loads of types of cat. Could be lions.
I'm going to interrupt you because up the inside, Franco Morbidelli lunges back on Pedro Acosta at turn 10 and makes the move. Yeah, I don't know. Lion cat? Normal cat? Rins has been given a long lap penalty.
One of those cats that Rachel had in Friends.
A skin cat. I don't know.
Mrs. Whiskerson. What am I going to do? Call her Fluffy?
All I know is the fact that Lizzie has a dog, so I assume Lizzie is a dog person. Unless you have a cat, Lizzie, as well.
I have a dog.
Oh, do you have a cat?
I do have a dog. We do have a cat. Yeah, we have a cat called Luna. Unfortunately, we have just lost our elderly cat, Coco.
Oh.
But we do have a cat. But obviously, I'm biased to tigers, and I will stand by that till the day I die.
All right, so riders, well, let's call riders tigers then coming into it. Cats have super fast reaction speeds in the animal world. Oh, okay. Riders are cats. That's a great analogy. We're going to run with that. That's a great one. Acosta track limits warning, but Rins has been given his shortcut. Megan, what for? Oh, hang on.
Long lap penalty due to a shortcut.
At turn 2. Flashed up on the monitor before he was on our timing screen. And then
He's been given a shortcut due to a long lap penalty.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot. So he's gone off the shortcut long lap, and he's been given a long lap penalty as a result. That doesn't make much sense, does it?
Surely he's already done it.
I don't think he's actually been given. Has he been given the long lap officially, or is it just a warning?
Yeah, he's been given it.
Yeah. Long lap penalty due to shortcut turn 1 and 2. It's come up on the monitor.
You've done a long lap. Here's a long lap.
Surely you would just say, "Oh, he's done it." Oh, that's silly. That is silly. I think that needs
Rins has completed a long lap penalty preemptively.
There's all sorts of things that Rins does preemptively these days.
Well, the Moto2 riders can't seem to understand how to do the long lap penalties, given that when 2 people were given it, they had to redo it.
Yeah. Several times, unfortunately.
I think they need to have signs of it, because obviously it's not clear.
Primo Pramac, of course, their last race under Ducati power. They move to Yamaha next year with factory bikes from Yamaha, trying to pull their resources to develop it after a couple of shocking years for Yamaha. Add Honda into that as well, actually, as well.
Yeah, this is 15.
Let's not get Lizzie started on Yamaha.
Don't get me started on Honda.
To be fair, one of the things I did like when I was at Donington, throwing it back, was you can literally just go in to that engineering zone where you have your debriefs, Lizzie, and you can just steal chairs. It's fantastic. The amount of chairs that got stolen from that.
Yeah. Yeah, just nick all of our chairs, yeah.
Wouldn't that be a bit suspicious?
No, literally, they were literally people, honestly, taking the chairs, shoving them in the pickup, because you only get 2 chairs, don't you, in your garage? So everyone was nicking, yeah, you only get 2 chairs for the riders. So everyone was nicking chairs from the hospital, from the engineering bay.
Oh, that's not fair. There needs to be a chair budget.
I never forget watching that race in the paddock, and everybody was being shocked and cheering, and then I can't remember whose mother it was crying that her daughter just won a race. Lizzie, you'd probably know. I can't remember.
Probably Beatrice's mum.
Yeah.
She's very emotional. I love her. She's lovely, but yeah, probably Beatrice's mum.
There's Aleix battling once again with Alex. These two just giving up. Martin's pulled back now. 2.7 seconds, the gap between himself and Bagnaia. 2.1 to him and Mark.
So, but it could be Bagnaia.
Ooh, this is a great exit from Alex Marquez. Aleix just looked behind him. He knows that Alex is going to attack. Marquez, which way is he going to go? Inside line. Backs out of it. Still too far alongside. Yeah. Would you have gone for that, Lizzie? I would have gone for that.
Like, from the angle that I saw, it looked like Alex was... God, there's 2 Alex you can't really talk about. So it looked like Marquez was a bit further forward, so it looked like he was a bit more alongside it, so I couldn't really judge. So I wouldn't know. I don't think I would have, purely because of it being Aleix, and I don't want to ruin his last Grand Prix. But if it was anybody else, I might have just shown a front wheel, and then it would have just depended on whether the other rider would have sat up or not. It's completely
voluntary.
Difficult to judge that, actually.
Oh, I think he's showing him that he's there, but of course, just explain what a rider's vision's like. Oh, never mind, he's going to go at Kamsa. Is he just trying to get in the eye line of Aleix? Because you riders really are like goldfish. You've got pretty much 180-degree vision. You can see around you, can't you?
Yeah, so it sounds quite silly, but it depends. Like I've ridden with 2 different helmets, and in my Nolan helmet, you get a lot of vision all the way around you. So it looks like from I think it's the Kabuto helmet that Aleix is wearing there.
Yeah.
It's got quite a good field of vision. So whether he is actually seeing him or not, God, who knows? But yeah, usually if somebody showed me their front wheel, it's like a gauge. You sort of gauge how much front wheel's in your vision before you let off. So if it was just sort of like you could just see the edge of the tyre, I possibly wouldn't have let it slip. But if the whole front wheel is in front of you, then obviously they're past you already. So you've got to let it go.
That Aprilia is super on the brakes compared to the Ducati. I never thought I'd be saying that. But it is so much hard front braking there. And Alex still coming through. Megan?
Vinales going to pass Raul in a minute.
And
Now he has.
So
Raul, I
Naka.
think it's gone. For a minute, I thought Raul has gone down.
Well, Raul's dropped down into 18th place.
But no, Nakagami saw an opportunity as soon as Vinales, so did Marini, and just decided, you know what? Raul, you can just go at the back for a while. You can go next to the other Fernandez.
So he's been pushed down into 18th place now alongside Augusto. Same name, same town, not related in any way, shape or form.
I mean, surely they have to be.
Hey, do you want an update? Rins has been given a double long lap penalty for failing to do the original long lap penalty. Because
He's already done one. You can't make him do 3.
So he went off the track to the shortcut, got a long lap penalty for it, hasn't done the long lap penalty, has now been awarded a double long lap penalty.
I'd retire in protest.
Well, if he doesn't do it in the next 2 laps, he'll get a black flag. So he's got to really sort of hurry up here. Look at that, failed to comply.
He's probably thinking, well, I did one, and I was given one for it. Now he's being given one for not... Now, okay, Rins has been given a long lap penalty, failing to complete the long lap penalty that he completed before he got the long lap penalty.
God, it's like Pandora's box. Lizzie, would you actually get to see your pit board clearly when you're on the straight? I've always wondered that because they're tiny little numbers and you're racing at awesome speeds.
Yeah, so I would look for what I need to know first. I usually have it set out as what position I am, the gap to the person behind me, and then the laps to go. And I know where it is on the board, so I'd look for what it is that I'm looking for. If I'm looking for how big the gap is, my eye line will naturally just go for the middle of the board. You don't see all your boards. I've never been able to read every single thing that's on my board because if there's so many boards out at the right time.
Alex
Sorry,
Marquez
just
trying
looking
to
at
go
the
on
screen
the
there.
outside. Oh no! Oh my goodness! He nearly chopped Aleix down on the deck. Alex Marquez at turn 4 thought about the outside and did nearly take off the front end of his bike. Anyway, back to you, Lizzie.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, it would. I just look for what I need to see, and then just pray for everything else.
And Alex has passed Aleix. That's going to get harder. But Marquez has passed Espargaro just coming out of Campsa at 9. And there's your world champion in waiting. Jorge Martin has just got to complete another 2.894 miles. That's 4.657 kilometres. And you are world champion.
So close.
Bagnaia is going to have 11 wins and not the world championship. I've never seen this before.
It's hilarious.
Last lap. The rematch is going to be 1-1 in their personal duel. Bagnaia already a 2-time world champion in MotoGP, a 3-time champion across the series. He got his championship in 2018 in Moto2. That same year, Jorge Martin won his Moto3 World Championship. His first victory came in utter brilliance at the Styrian Grand Prix in Austria. Only won 3 Grand Prix this season, but he's won more sprint races than anyone else. He's been consistent, only been off the podium 8 times, and he's going to do it again. Lizzie, from a rider's perspective, he's played this utter cool. He's played the consistent card. But the question is, they've been calling his legality, him and Bagnaia, for crashing this year. I know I've said it myself. Is he a deserving champion? Because he's really, in my eyes, stepped up. What's yours?
Yeah, I definitely believe that Martin fully deserves this championship. not only as a satellite rider, but just for himself, really. He's really stepped up the game in his riding. I think he's a lovely person as well. I had the opportunity to meet him this year at Silverstone. But yeah, I think he's fully deserving of it. He's put up a good fight. And yeah, I just think he's been a beautiful man to watch ride this year.
Pecco Bagnaia will win 11 races in a single season, but will not be the world champion. Bagnaia wins the battle in Barcelona, but the 2024 world champion is Jorge Martin. Look at that! Satellite riders can win championships. The most successful sprint winner, the most consistent of all year, and he's deserved with a world championship. Jorge Martin is the MotoGP world champion. Woohoo! That is a season like no other. The Martinator, who said last year after the crash that I'll be back, has proved it and wins the championship in fine style. He celebrates with his friend, who he will replace at Aprilia next year, Aleix Espargaro, who finishes his final race in 5th. Nakagami comes home in 17th in his last race as well. But Jorge Martin is champion of the world. Lizzie, that is such an amazing attitude for motorcycle racing. Satellite riders really can be champions.
They can, yeah, and it's absolutely unbelievable to see. His great success this year. It's been lovely to watch, and he's fully deserving of it. And can we just take a moment for poor Aleix there? Sit there, I could see the redness in his eyes there, bless him. But yeah, he's had a lovely career, and I think the both of them are going out in style in 2025.
And there's the burnout. What have Ducati done? They let him go for Marc Marquez. Arguably, it should be Martin and Marquez at the top team, not Bagnaia.
It should.
Bagnaia made so many mistakes this year. Yeah, the ends don't justify the means. Gigi Dall'Igna comes through. He's the first independent rider to be a world champion in the modern era as well. It's such a good news story in MotoGP.
When he was celebrating and hit his bike, he broke his bike.
Oh, God.
And now he's had to... He's just had to get up with the thing. He had to run with the bike.
Yeah, the aero screen's gone. He's punched the aero screen off.
So he's broke his bike.
Time for the celebration. What are we going to see? A Spanish rider on Spanish soil wins the championship.
He really is showing off. He's doing it one-handed and one-legged again.
I'm quite surprised that we didn't see Bagnaia cross the line to win the race, to be fair. The ideal thing would have been to hold a static camera at the line.
Yeah.
That's just the TV director in me. Look at that. Tears and emotion all round. Media getting ready for interviews. Where's Simon Patterson? Is he down there yet? He'll get on for the race. I want to take this opportunity actually to thank Simon and Maddie for all their work this year and all the information they've given us here at JB Motorsports. Fantastic pairing. And we'll hear from them again next season as well.
Bagnaia's going to be sad to have to give up the one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a point. Back to 63, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And that one now goes to Aprilia. But, of course, it won't be their championship. What we've basically got is Damon Hill again.
Yeah.
That's an F1 analogy for you. Oh, he's celebrating.
Lizzie, he's going to stand on the seat.
Yeah, how dangerous is that? Can you do this? What's it feel like to have that
No, I cannot do this. No, I cannot do this.
Is he shaking the bike?
It's terrifying when they do this. Is he kneeling on it? I can't tell. Oh, the champagne's out. Go on, is it?
He was standing on it, and then he was kneeling on it, and then he was standing on it again. But oh, there we go. Off goes the champagne.
Oh, that can't be good for the lights.
We've already had one fire here in Barcelona in the last couple of years. I don't want another one, thank you very much. They've just rebuilt the pit buildings. Through it goes, through Campsat. Is that a Aleix with the Valencia flag? I can't tell.
I believe so. I couldn't see.
Makes sense, to be fair.
Definitely somebody with a Valencia flag.
Aleix Espargaro, as he retires, 255 MotoGP races, 17 Moto2, 44 250cc, 23 125cc. That's 339 races. That's so annoying.
Oh, they're riding together.
3 race victories, 2 in Catalonia, 1 in Aragon. And they're riding in together. the Martinator. Hashtag Mart1ator. And here's, it's a Terminator theme. I've been looking forward to this. The celebrations go all around as well. This is nice. In front of the Marquez Grand. Oh, he kneels there. He can't believe it. All the emotion can finally filter out. You really are world champions on the rallycross stage. Presumably he's going to press a button and a Terminator will come out. I'm so happy.
Let's hope he's not going to try and undo the championship.
Lizzie, I think it's important to mention he's on the 24 bike as well, but he doesn't have any of the factory Ducati mechanics. He's just got the bike, all the setup, all the planning. It's all Prima Pramac team, and he's done this as an independent rider. It's just brilliant news to see that.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, without the factory support as well, obviously there would be an enormous amount of support anyway, but to do it while not riding for a factory team and be on a satellite bike, it's truly remarkable. I mean, it's just fantastic.
I'm a bit scared here because he's gone into a cubicle, and the last time I saw this was Valentino Rossi when he ran off the bike into a porta potty to celebrate. We'll leave that imagination to you. Here's Aleix. How are you feeling, Lizzie, watching that?
Yeah, well, it's lovely. It's lovely to see all the people around him, and he's going to have a well-deserved retirement after all these years. Yeah, he's had a fantastic career, and he definitely deserves the time off.
Yeah, it's a fact. To reply to Space's comment in the YouTube chat, it is a factory bike. It's the GP24 bike, but they don't have any of the support from the engineers and Ducati. It's all done by Pramac themselves. So they get the bike, but they don't get the engineers. So they get the data though. All the data gets shared over.
Do you know, part of me thinks that Aleix will come back eventually. Even if it's just like for random races.
Oh, he's going to come back for one-offs. Yeah. Factory bikes have factory, but not always, no. Like, for instance, next year the VR46s are going to have factory bikes, but they're not going to have direct mechanics for factory sport. They'll just share the data and all that lot. How much has Mark loved racing this year as he leaves Gresini? He's fallen back in love with the sport.
He has.
This is a good day. Weird to say that's it. Right, is he ready? I think Martin's got changed in some sort of Terminator costume. Is that a brick?
Well,
of ice?
For some reason...
It looks like ice, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason... The fun thing, do you know, with his face on Terminator, whenever I look at that, I think, oh, that looks like a Borg. I was thinking...
It does, yeah.
It's not getting assimilated in there, is it?
I think a Terminator...
I must say, if he comes out in the next few seconds, he's got changed very quickly. Because if he's changing his set of levers after he's been sweaty and wet and horrible, if he comes out within the next few seconds, he's done a very good job.
Did you ever get your set back from Mal?
No, they're in the back of Simon's thing, but they're with Maddie and Simon somewhere in the world.
I think Simon's got the van.
They're in there somewhere.
I think Simon's got the van in Barcelona as well.
So, that's been to Barcelona, but you haven't.
No, that's
it's beat you then.
Yeah, no.
I doubt Simon's wearing them though. No offense to Simon, but he's a little bit too big to fit in. I wouldn't even fit in to Lizzie's overalls.
I have a keychain that's more well-travelled than me.
I'm trying to think what's in this commentary box has been to Spain. The iPad.
You.
Me. The iPad's been to Spain. The headset didn't.
Your phone?
No, different phone. I think it's just the iPad. Oh, the MacBook.
Mum's phone's been to Spain.
The MacBook, yeah. Technology. And Lizzie, yeah. Oh yeah, you were in Jerez. Is it? It is.
I was, yeah. I bet I went to Jerez twice this year.
Oh, you did, didn't it? Yeah. I remember messaging you at one point because you were up insanely early, and I said, did you have to do the journalist thing of getting up at like 5 a.m. to get into the paddock and all that lot? Oh, God.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got up early. All 3 days in Jerez, me and India were the first in the media centre every day.
It's such a nice feeling that when you're in the media centre first. It's like welcome.
It's so peaceful.
It is.
Like, this is mine now.
So peaceful.
Good coffee machine as well, actually. Finally.
Ooh, coffee.
Right, here we go then. I can hear the Terminator theme in the background. They've been milking this one. What does he look like then? I want to watch Terminator 2 now. I've got a free evening. I might watch it in honour.
You should.
It's so weird looking at this circuit because I can see where I've walked. Where this was. I've been here.
The smoke, and I can see where a door is.
So here comes the ice fog. You can hear the Terminator music in the background. 89 becomes the one. How long does it take to get changed, Lizzie? Oh, never mind.
Well, it depends. Oh, there we go.
Oh, and he shot there. That's fantastic. Jorge Martin has come out the door with a mask on of half face of a Terminator, puts his hand up to an ice block, says "Hasta la vista, baby," shoots it, and the ice block explodes, and revealing in the centre a golden helmet where he takes a swig of a Red Bull can and puts on the golden helmet to be crowned world champion. And he now walks like a robot as well. Of all the celebrations, I think that might be one of my favourites. So we had a weird one.
I can't tell whether he's changed his suit or not, actually.
I can't tell either.
I don't think he has. I think he's just been cooling down.
It'd be a bit weird if it took that long to, just throw on a pair of masks.
I think what he was doing was cooling down and just like trying to get his breath back from the shock.
I've just seen your message, Lizzie, as well, by not preparing a cuppa.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a brew.
Look at that.
Glass or something?
I think it's meant to look like ice, but it's probably sugar glass. Let's hear from Jorge
Yes,
Lorenzo.
that's what it is.
Jorge Lorenzo is down with Susie.
He was 16 years old. He trained with me in Lugano. He trained with my father, so we have a good relationship. Always has been like this. We share manager as well. So well deserved. He struggled so much. He's a fighter. Finally, Bagnaia decided not to slow down the race, so it was good for him. So I'm happy that now he can say he's a MotoGP World Champion.
What can you say about both Jorge and Pecco these last 2 seasons?
Well, they've been like robots, no? Always very precise, not so many mistakes. Very similar in terms of riding style. So it was a great battles between these two, and finally it's good that we have another champion, no? Not always the same one.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Jorge Martin is the first world champion to switch factories immediately after being world champion since Valentino Rossi when he went to from Honda to Yamaha 2003.
I've just noticed there, Josh. He has changed his levers. He's got a number 1 on his hip there. They have changed over.
That explains why it took so long.
And the bike's got number 1 on it now as well. Excellent spot, Lizzie. See, this is why I like having riders in the box, Lizzie, because you've spotted that. I would have just assumed it'd be the same leathers, but you're right, he has got the number 1 on it. It's Champions leathers.
I think as well they are split as well. So he's got black on one side and more purple and red on the other.
Yeah.
Is it more? Hang on, is that an exoskeleton on the back there? Yeah, it's a Terminator suit. Oh, okay.
Jeez, he must really love the Terminator movies.
Yeah, and now the celebration begins with the team in Parc Fermé.
Do you know what? I sincerely hope he's turned off his airbag.
I was about to say.
Maybe they haven't built one in.
Megan
he's still got it on his arm. I can see it. The green light's still flashing.
It's just like, is this a...
You're vocal about those airbags, aren't you, Megan?
I am.
They don't go off often enough.
I mean, if they don't go off when someone gets smashed down to the ground, I don't think it'll go off.
Lizzie,
that was Nakagami being smashed down to the ground.
Have you ever had one go off?
I have, yes. Where was it? So I had my... the first time I got to try out my airbag was at Donington Park in 2022. Saved my collarbone on that one, definitely. And then it went off in Cremona as well.
I didn't spot that light on the seats.
No, right.
No, when I was at the circuit.
Oh, okay, so.
I was just overwhelmed that weekend. Being stuck in a commentary box and suddenly being...
Alecia's beelining for Jorge Martin through the crowds. Oh, there he is.
And Martin's just climbed over to get.
Oh, get the FAM president out of the way.
No, he's lovely. I've met him. He's an absolutely lovely man.
Oh, I agree. He's
brilliant.
Lovely, but time and a place. The fans want that. they want them. Jorge Vegas as well. Was he at Donington? I can't remember.
No, FAM president, he was... Oh, I can't remember. He was definitely at Mazzano and he was definitely at Cremona.
All I know is that me and Evio Bautista have got beef. I'm standing there with all my equipment as well. No, I wasn't standing. I was standing there with... I was holding the microphones as well because I was talking with Michael Hill before the podium ceremony. And I get bloody drenched by Evio Bautista on the podium after the race on Saturday morning. Go back into the paddock and it's just washed. And it rained as well.
Oh, he's just scribbled out the 89.
Oh. That's going to be special. His grandmother there. Water bottle. Hydration. Look, I wonder I don't know. When putting a new suit on, if you're still sweaty, that's going to be incredibly hard. I wonder if he stood there for 5 minutes while somebody towelled him down.
I mean, that's what I assume took so long.
Yeah.
I can imagine someone was helping him.
Plus, you're going to be hot.
Yeah, there was somebody in there. There was someone in there helping him. I could not. With the speed he put that other suit on, he's got to have had somebody in there helping him.
Yeah.
I'm saying this right now, by the way. Nobody's ever getting me on a motorcycle on a racetrack. I'd be A, either too fast, or B, crash. So I'll stick to 4 wheels on that one.
I mean, I'd love to try one day.
Oh, there's not time yet.
I have a terrible feeling I'd end up accidentally aiming for someone, and I say accident.
Right, Lizzie, Lizzie can take Megan. I'll sit on.
I'll take the pair of you. You can both come with me.
Fine. Oh dear, that's going to be scary now. Let's hear from Marc Marquez finishing 3rd with Simon Crafar.
Breaking in turns, what you were losing on the straight, lap after lap. Can't have been easy. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, today was a good race, but first of all, I want to congratulate the world champion, Martin. Today is his day. He did an incredible season. And from us, we try our best today. I was super concentrated. I was like fighting for the championship, for the world championship. I mean, full focus, full precise to finish in a good way with the Gresini team. And yeah, finishing the podium was the best way to say thanks to this incredible family.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Everyone's going nuts, Megan.
I'm getting a bar of chocolate.
Oh, you're getting a bar of chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's to help me study, but I'll only need half it to help me study. Way to get me to study. Crisps, chocolate, and apparently prawn crackers.
All right, there it is. I'm old, I don't have to do that. I just have to make homework of commentary notes as well.
Lucky. I only have to study. This is the first time I've actually had to study in a couple of years. Because I have my one and only exam on Wednesday.
Let's hear from our race winner as well, Pecco Bagnaia, down with Simon.
Pecco, you were wonderful this year. Again, proving how fast you are. You've got to be proud, even though you're not world champion.
I don't want to remove the shame to Jorge. I think he's deserving what he achieved, and this day is for him. So I want just to say thanks to my team. They did an incredible job, and all the rest is another story. But congratulations to Jorge.
Class as always. Thank you.
Yeah, that is nice to see, Lizzie, as well, isn't it? They've had such a good rivalry between them, and a hug there as well. Let's hear then from our world champion. Just putting it on my notes. Who's won the amount of championships? Come on, Jorge. We want to hear what you've got to say.
They've just been told something. I don't know. To smile for that way.
Alex Rins has been given a 3-second penalty for failing to comply with the long lap penalty, and then a 6-second time penalty for failing to comply with the double long lap penalty. In total, 9 seconds lost.
I mean,
which has put him 21st.
Still not last.
Yeah.
But he would have lost a lot more time, so I think it's worth it.
I love how we only lost one rider, and we didn't even see the replay.
Yeah, and I predicted that rider.
Yeah. You'll think of the curse of the commentator once again. Megan, this is to come in.
End of year treat.
Are we ever going to hear from our new world champion, or is he too busy celebrating out there? He's dropped his bag. What's he got on him? Tissues, glasses, sunglasses. Come on, Simon Crayford.
Red Bull.
Kiss is the number one. Come on, let's hear it. Final time from Simon Crayford.
What he has to say to Simon.
Jorge, yours is a wonderful story from rookies to champion in this class, but so many questions. I've only got one. Jorge Martin, MotoGP World Champion. How does that sound?
It sounds amazing. I don't know what to say. I'm completely shocked. This is for my people, for my family, for the people that are supporting me. This is for them. The last laps, I couldn't even ride. I started crying a bit. It was really emotional race. And yeah, thanks to my people. That's for them, completely for them. It's been a long journey, a lot of crashes, big injuries, but finally we are back here, Simon. So thanks to all the people, all the fans. This is also for Valencia, a Spanish rider, and hope we can keep improving and enjoy the moment. This is the most important thing. Live the present and enjoy the moment.
Huge congratulations.
Let's head down to Susie Perry in the paddock then with TNT Sports.
Well, a fully deserved World Championship win then for Jorge Martin today at Michael Sylvan. Special filmic celebrations, Hollywood style, but ultimately this year his consistency paid off, and you have to say that, you know, the best man won.
Hats off to Jorge Martin. It has been the mistake from Pecco Bagnaia, but Jorge delivered every single time. The third places, like he achieved today, are what made him the world champion. He's been through the ringer last year, didn't quite achieve it, went to work over the winter, became a stronger, more rounded athlete, and he just arrived this year in the perfect mindset to win the title, and he delivered. I've got to say, it is the right person who is awarded the #1 plate today.
It wasn't the greatest of races. It was probably the most boring race of the season, but I think everybody was sitting there terrified, wondering what was going to happen there. There was a couple of wingmen, I think, that were doing their thing in Marc Marquez, and Aleix Espargaro was like a tank out there today, wasn't he?
Yeah,
just deflecting all that pressure, though, early on from Jorge.
Yeah, Aleix fought really hard at the end, but you know, he was fighting for position as well, so you can't blame him for it. There was a great battle with him and Alex Marquez. Another surprising performance from Marc Marquez, because yes, he qualified well, but that was from a toe, and he was struggling all weekend. He struggled in the sprint yesterday and managed to pull it all together, you know, for that race. So definitely looking forward to the test in 2 days' time and next year as well. And Jorge Martin, I mean, what can you say? He deserves it so much. Pramac as a team as well deserve it so much. It was their opportunity to do it this year. They've done it, they sealed it, and yeah, I'm really happy they managed to do that. I think it's a great story for MotoGP. Great story as well for private team. You know, private teams, it's inspiring. Yeah. You can be the, you know, the outsider. You can be the challenger, and you can still go win races. And now, well, apparently, you can win titles now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we saw Jaromir win on consistency. He only won one race for the whole season, so you know we know it can be done. But he's fought hard. He's come back from the ashes of last year and got himself the title. And an extraordinary story. The twists and turns of MotoGP this year. And for Pramac as well, you have to say, it's fantastic for them. 23 years in this paddock, and to be able to come away with the riders' title like this. Of course, they won the team title last year. Gino Borsoi must be over the moon. He's talking to Nat.
Gino, the tears are flowing. You've done it, and your boy has done it. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Wow, thank you so much. Now it's a big confusion in my head. I have a lot of things around me. For sure, it was to create incredible season with Pramac and Ducati. We have to say again thank you to Ducati. But the team today was amazing. Not only today, through the season. We did everything perfect. We improved from last year. So thanks to my team, because we are here thanks to them.
How much was last season a lesson for Jorge? Was Valencia last year the making of him?
Yeah, well, Valencia was a difficult race for us. As you can imagine, when you arrive with a different point, everything becomes much more difficult. This season, we avoid this kind of problem. We try to make much more smooth the race and get the maximum result, not just try to win. And this was the key of the season. And today is the day of Jorge and Pramac.
And today's race was the dream for him, wasn't it? It played out perfectly for him. Did that settle any of the nerves, or were you still on edge to that final flag?
I think now we are part of the story. First time in the history that a satellite team win the title. So it's great. Last season as a team, this is another rider, so I cannot ask more.
Go and celebrate, Gino. Congratulations.
Thank you. Bye.
Podium ceremony beginning to take place then here in Barcelona for the Solidarity Grand Prix, racing with Valencia. Hugs all round, up and down the paddock, and such a good news story. This is the moment he crossed the line to be crowned world champion. Punch in the air. We hear the tears already coming down as well. Such an important win. And Lizzie, I thought you might like this. Simon Patterson just tweeted saying that it was a great celebration, but he should have walked out of the box naked, gone to the Aprilia garage, announced to Aleix, I need your clothes, your boots and your motorcycle, then slapped number 1 on the RSGP. Now that would have been a celebration. That's quite funny really, isn't it?
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I'm just having a look for that tweet now myself. I imagine Simon would have said something.
That was
there we go. I can see it here. that would have been a pretty good celebration, but I'm not sure that would have been able to show anything like that, to be honest. But yeah, it would have been fantastic to see. Yeah,
could have walked out in his underpants. If it's good enough for Gary Lineker, it's good enough for Jorge Martin.
Well, don't see why not. Yeah.
To be fair, he's missed a trick. I still haven't got that video sorted from the Donington round there with the Mallory singing, but it should have come out just as Shania Twain. That would have made everyone laugh. There's Susie again. Podium's taken a while. We were told it's going to happen in the next 2 minutes. That's why we've come on to start talking again. We'll give you the quick race results now then. Pekka Bagnaia wins for the 29th time in his MotoGP career. He's 39th overall across the 3 classes.
One more for each.
Yep, and 11th time this year. Still not the champion. Marc Marquez is second with Jorge Martin in third. Alex Marquez finishes fourth. Aleix Espargaro his final Grand Prix in fifth. Brad Binder is sixth. Anea Bastianini is seventh on his last one for a while. Then we get Franco Morbidelli, Marco Bezzecchi, Pedro Acosta top 10. Fabio Quartararo dropped to 11th. Miguel Oliveira is 12th. Jack Miller is 13th. Johan Zarco 14th. Maverick Vinales gets the last point in 15th, and then it's Luca Marini in 16th, Takaki Nakagami, his final ride as a full-time rider in 17th, Ralph Fernandez 18th, Augusto Fernandez 19th, Mikel Pirro completes a 12-year streak of being a wildcard rider since retiring, he's 20th, and Alex Rins 9 seconds worth of penalties 21st, Stefan Bradl in what could be his last ever Grand Prix as well, with Nakagami taking his role in 22nd, and Juan Mir the only retirement. Our world champion onto the podium then, his 60th podium across his career, his 32nd in MotoGP, his first ever world championship. Marc Marquez in his last race with Gresini before going on to the main team. MotoGP podium 111, combined 150th across all classes. Pekka Bagnaia, as I've already said, 29th MotoGP win, 39th all round. It goes with his 24th pole, his 31st overall, his 7th sprint win, and now also his 51st podium, 74th across all classes. We'll hear the Italian national anthem for him and Ducati. A congratulatory handshake between them all as well as they come up onto the podium. A little bit quicker there, but the Constructors' Trophy as well to Ducati. Who else really? They've had so much this year. Digital podium as well being applied. Now, which is next? Is it third? Yes, it is. Third place to our new world champion, Jorge Martin. A fantastic, consistent season. 3-time winner, multiple sprints, and that's where this championship was won, in the sprint race. Finishes third, won't care. It'll be the most important trophy of his life, as well as the little plaque he'll get later on tonight. Following down, second place to Marc Marquez. Leaves Gresini with his love for motorcycles re-engaged. He said if he wasn't competitive or he didn't get the main deal, he would have retired. Got the main gig next year though at Ducati. He's going to go up against this man. Two-time world champion, no longer the number one. Pekka Bagnaia wins. And in his honour, we will hear the Italian national anthem for victory number 11 of the season. Champagne time! Swirl it up, hit the bottle, Prosecco around and don't break the trophy! Oh, he's broke the trophy. What a season in MotoGP, and it ends like that.
Who's broke the trophy?
Bagnaia's broke his trophy. Who else?
Well, he's got 10 more of them from this year.
Jorge Martin!
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah. It's good. It's just fallen over. It's made of wood.
Fine, it's just on the floor. It's all right. It's fine.
It'll probably just get stepped.
I think they've all learned their lesson about flimsy trophies from Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
It's just a little dirty. It's still good. It's still good. What a season. You top three in the championship on the podium. Marquez finishes third in the title. Bagnaia second. Your race winner. Pekka Bagnaia, but the championship winner, Jorge Martin. What a year. Can we see more in 2025? Or change? I certainly can't wait. Can you? No, neither can I. What a year. Off the podium they'll go.
Technically, we only have to wait a day.
Yeah, there's TNT going from their coverage. I'll change now the camera so that Lizzie can see me and Megan up in the commentary box on Discord. We'll change up to button 4 as well. Hi, Lizzie. So, well, Megan, let's start with you. What was your moment of the MotoGP season? It's been a long year. You've commentated on lead of a couple of them as well when I've been in. Well, one, I was in hospital. Two, I was in Spain. Sorry, in Donington.
Marquez's first victory this year.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Aragon.
Yeah.
Proved that the old dog had new tricks, didn't he?
Yeah.
TNT go off. Lizzie, thank you very much for joining us. What's been your moment of the season and your thoughts going forward?
I think definitely my favourite moment of the season. It might shock a few people, but it was seeing Pedro Acosta do so unbelievably well this year in his rookie season in MotoGP. That's been really nice to watch. I mean, he did win, didn't he, this year? He got a win on the.
He's got close to
sure.
winning.
He's never had a win. He's had poles. Hang on, let me have a look at my
poles, and he came second. He got a second. That was always lovely to see. I mean, he's my age, which is just boggles my brain. But yeah, that was really nice to see. And obviously, Jorge Martin winning the championship was good as well.
Yeah, Acosta, 5 podiums, best of second, 1 pole, and best. That's all. So it's brilliant in debut year, personally. Right, thoughts going into 2025, Megan?
Marquez probably going to be very difficult to get past with winning. Acosta will do well, and Martin is not going to want to give up that one.
Lizzie, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same actually. Yeah, Marquez is gonna be pretty hard to compete with on that factory Ducati. Obviously, we've seen what he's done on a non-factory team. So who's to say he won't go on to win the championship next year? But yeah, I think it will be very much the same as Megan's thoughts, actually.
Lizzie, thank you very much for joining us in the box for this one. I know you're sort of championing the bit and now is going to do some Formula Ones as well, hopefully. So pleasure to welcome you in for a few more. What's coming up next for you then? What's the end of the year like bike-wise for you? Obviously still healing and repairing.
Well, end of the year is very quiet for us, actually. It's mostly just keeping myself fit going into Christmas. Obviously, that's very hard with all the delicious food that comes along with it. But just keeping myself fit and ready, getting out on pit bikes and any training bikes as much as I can. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
That's going to sound a lot more fun than what we've got planned as well, which is just loads of prep work. Thank you, Lizzie, very much.
There's food.
All right, there's food. There's a bonus there.
It's good food.
But don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nice things happening, but it doesn't ever mean the work stops for me either.
That's true.
It's still full steam ahead for keeping fit and keeping myself ready.
There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes. Everybody just sees, oh, they're racing, oh, they're broadcasting. No, the riders work billions times harder, let me tell you something. I got shocked, actually. My moment of the season was definitely being at Donington with you, Lizzie and Mal and Maddie and Simon, everyone at the team, because from being in the commentary box, you sort of see what's happening and going around on a weekend. You get the information, you talk to the riders over text and everything, but you never get to feel it. But Maddie literally thrust me from the commentary box into the paddock, and it was like a deer in the headlights. It was unbelievable seeing how it all worked. So that's definitely my moment of the season. Second moment of the season, definitely seeing Mal singing on the... what was it? The charity night. Low of the season, obviously, was not... I'll tell you what, though, Lizzie, I know you were in the medical centre at the time, but I hope someone told you that when we were waiting for you to get back, everybody in that garage was quiet, just sat round in a circle, talking very quietly. Everyone was very, very worried. So that was a weird experience as well. But yeah.
Yeah. Bless them. Yeah, it wasn't... Trust me, it wasn't nice sitting on the other side of it either. At Donington, obviously, I was up and walking, and I wasn't in the state I was at Cremona. But yeah, it was. I can't imagine it being a nice feeling for anybody there. So yeah, it's nice to know that. Nice for everyone else to know that I'm still kicking it and I'm still walking around.
Yeah, that's more important actually as well, because not much information got put out. I know Maddie and Zekmate have put out a lot, but not much got put out from WCER's point of view. Anyway, we've got to get off because I'm being shouted at in my ear. So, thank you, Lizzie, for joining us, and we'll hope to have you on again this year for some Formula One. Thank you, Megan, for all season as well. My thanks to Simon Patterson, and a big thank you to Maddie Patterson, who's really helped so much this year in the commentary box for MotoGP across all classes. And my thanks to all of you at home as well. MotoGP in 2024 has been utterly delightful. Yes, it's been the Ducati show, but we've had a new champion. An independent rider for the first time in the modern era has taken it. He now goes to Aprilia. But now, Bagnaia has to face a new challenge. Marc Marquez, fitter, hungrier than ever, back on a factory bike. It's going to be one to watch. 2025 starts on Tuesday. You can watch all of it on JB Motorsports with our pre-season testing coverage. We'll cover every test live, and also we'll have our track cameras ready, so we'll be able to get some trackside pictures at testing. So that's even better going forward when we go to Sepang in February. So, my thanks to you, Lizzie, for joining me in the comments box. My thanks to you, Megan, for the season. My thanks to all of you at home. Jorge Martin is the MotoGP World Champion. He'll go to Aprilia. It's all changed in 2025, but 2024 definitely took our breath away. There's only one thing to say when a Martinator wins the championship. MotoGP, it'll be back.